Oh my gosh, honey, look. I found gold in the desert.
You're so
We can go back now. Found it.
Oh.
This is what they were talking about all these years.
Today we are heading into the world-famous Superstition Mountains and past Canyon Lake on our way to one of Arizona's famous motorcycle stops, Tortilla Flat.
So we left quite early this morning to take a motorcycle ride out in the desert, into the desert to the Lost Dutchman State Park. And we thought we'd be the only people there at 5:45 this morning, but there was quite a small crowd. And it turns out they don't allow photography of any kind in the Lost Dutchman State Park. It's odd.
Yes.
Without a permit. And we...
Beautiful scene of Superstition Mountain there.
Yeah.
As well as some other smaller rock formations. And just the vegetation and everything is great. But yeah, you're not allowed.
So we've come up the road, up Superstition Highway a little bit, and there's a little turnout. You're supposed to be able to see Weaver's Needle from here. It's just a Weaver's Needle lookout. And what's Weaver's Needle?
It is God's finger or rock pointing up. It's rumored that the shadow at 4 o'clock will send you along the direct vein of gold. So there's gold in them there hills.
So we're figuring by maybe lunchtime we'll get our gold and head out. I guess a few people have looked for it before and not known where to look, but they don't know about the 4 o'clock shadow of Weaver's Needle. And we're a few hours early, so we're going to kind of
assimilate to what it would be.
Where the shadow would be.
Yeah.
And do it. Yeah. So we're standing in a wash in the desert, and we thought, well, maybe we'll come here and just walk our way over to Weaver's Needle, but it's kind of, it looks like it's always right there. I think it's miles away.
Right.
So
right.
I think we're just going to hang out in this desert wash.
And let you guys have a look at what it looks like to us.
Yeah. And while we go find gold.
Okay, come on along. Let's get some gold.
Here we go. So sometimes this area is really wet and sometimes it's really dry. I'd say it's just a wash. Ah! Oh, look at those.
The Apache believe the entrance to hell resides in the Superstition Mountains and that winds blowing from the hole to the lower world is the cause of severe dust storms in the area. It is the Apache's superstitiousness that caused local farmers to christen the mountains with their current name back in the 1860s. The 25-million-year-old mountains have formerly been called Crooked Top, Thunder Mountain, and Mountains of Foam. One of the most famous legends of lost and buried gold in American history is centered around the Superstition Mountains. According to the legend of the Lost Dutchman mine, A German immigrant named Jacob Waltz discovered a mother lode of gold in the Superstition Wilderness and revealed its location on his deathbed in 1891 to Julia Thomas, a boarding house owner who had taken care of him for years. People have been seeking the lost mine since 1892, and though several mines have been claimed to be the actual mine that Waltz discovered, none of those claims have been verified. The 1,000-foot column of rock on the eastern edge of the mountains, named Weaver's Needle, plays a significant role in the legend of the Lost Dutchman gold mine in that the spire's 4 o'clock shadow is said to indicate where the rich vein of gold exists. Significantly missing from that clue, however, is the time of year the shadow is supposed to lead miners to the gold, because every month of the year will cast its shadow in a slightly different direction. Whether Superstition Mountains contain lost gold or a secret entrance to the underworld is yet unverified, but what is certain is their majestic beauty. Ever-changing sunlight and seasons change the mountain face by the hour. We have many photos of the Superstition Mountains, but this one is our favorite and is available for purchase on our website, craigkerphotography.com.
The ride from Superstition to Canyon Lake is the quintessential cruising motorcycle ride. Rolling hills, gentle switchbacks, and high desert scenery. Today it comes with some not too hot springtime sun and the absence of traffic befitting a global pandemic. It only takes one delivery truck or one large RV to slow things to a crawl, but today we rode at posted speeds or better for the entire 12 miles between the Lost Dutchman State Park and Tortilla Flat. The lake was formed by the 1925 damming of the Salt River. It's the smallest of the 4 lakes created by Salt River dams, and it's the direct result of the Mormon Flat Dam in the lake's northwest corner. It's open to private boaters and campers, but today all other recreational facilities and restaurants are closed. Normally, the Dolly Steamboat operates lake tours and dinner cruises on the lake throughout the year. Jackie and I took the steamboat tour last year and were pleasantly surprised by the scenery and by the volume of information about local geology and history. We even saw several desert bighorn sheep the brochure said we might see. Was really great. Less than 2 miles further up the road is Tortilla Flat. Once a stagecoach stop along the Apache Trail between Phoenix and Roosevelt Dam, Tortilla Flat may be Arizona's smallest town with only 6 permanent residents, all employees of the town's restaurant, motel, general store, and post office. It's the only authentic stagecoach stop along the Apache Trail to survive through the 1900s. If you ride a motorcycle near Phoenix, Arizona, eventually you end up here at the very end of the road going east out of town. This is Tortilla Flat, and it is literally the end of the road. It's a great ride, lots of switchbacks. You ride past Canyon Lake. If it weren't for the crisis going on right now, this place would be standing room only, crazy with people. Jackie and I have been here when it's been like that, and this is just a wonderful departure, except for these little black flies that are driving us crazy. And it's the first time I've had a Royal Crown Cola in 10 years.
You can get a bite to eat, you can have a drink, you can have, they actually do have alcohol here, you can catch a gunfight and check out the first Tortilla Flat School that is just at the end of this walkway. Lots to do in this tiny little place. Lots of antiques to check out hanging on the walls, and then it's just a fun place to stop when you've gotten here via motorcycle. The trip here is just stunning. It is full of twists and turns and beautiful scenery. So I hope you get the chance to come out here to Tortilla Flat.
This is what happened to the last man that looked at my gal. Rest in peace. I often think of Tortilla Flat as the end of the road when referring to riding motorcycles on the Apache Trail out of Phoenix, but only because that's as far as we're willing to ride our big Indian motorcycle. The road actually continues all the way to Roosevelt Lake, as it has since the early 1900s. It's even a paved road for another 5.5 miles when it unceremoniously turns to dirt for the next 25 miles. Jackie and I have taken our F450 pickup on the road past Tortilla Flat to Roosevelt Lake, and I strongly discourage doing that without an off-road vehicle, perhaps even a standard pickup truck, but our 9,000-pound RV hauling dually made the ride seem stagecoach-like, though probably even slower. Even jaunts up to 20 miles per hour were unbearably rough. While in Tortilla Flat, I did a search for driving directions to Roosevelt Lake, and even the GPS recommended the 100-mile loop backwards down the Apache Trail and on paved roads around the Superstition Mountains to avoid the 25 miles of unpaved road ahead. Tortilla Flat, Canyon Lake, and Superstition Mountains. What a great ride today. We didn't find the Dutchman's lost gold, but riding our Indian through the warm desert air together is priceless. Please enjoy our ride back to Phoenix from Tortilla Flat and join us for more adventures next week as we travel to Wisconsin for a corporate aircraft photo shoot. Please share, like, and subscribe to our channel today. We really look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye-bye.